This is Nancy here, coming live from my home in Portland. This is another edition of Tina, Gesso, and I's Love Tips. And we thought we'd expand on what we talked about last week. We had gone through the stages of a breakup. We had gone through, first of all, you have to recognize when it's time to break up. And then we went on to processing the breakup. And then we went to healing the breakup. And we're going to do self-love this week, but we thought it'd be really interesting if we got the men's perspective. So we have Eric Bjornsted that's agreed to come on with us. But right now I'm going to bring Tina on, and let me bring her on. And three-person thing before, so we're going to see if this works, right? Okay, so Tina's coming on. Hi, Todd. Hi, Mary Lynn. Good to see you. Mary Lynn says, yes, working through the stages. Yes, we are working through the stages. I'm waiting for Tina. There she is. There's Lovely. Hi, Tina. Ooh, my headphones. You know, you think I'd learn sometime.
Hi, everyone. I noticed that Nancy stepped away. I guess there's a reason for it. And I'm sure that she mentioned that we're going to be inviting them in to Men's Week. And we're starting off with Eric. Yay. And it's either Nancy or me that does this every single time with the headset. It's so funny. So I was just talking, maybe you already mentioned about Men's Week, Nancy. Maybe you mentioned about
Yes.
Men's Week,
Hi.
but I was just reiterating that. So we have Eric on for today, and then we have Wednesday Frank. And guess what? I just got a confirmation from Raphael Roland for Friday.
Okay, great. Okay, great. And then maybe we can have Barry on Saturday. He said he was available Friday.
Exactly.
We'll get him. So we've got 4 guys. Yes.
Yeah.
So
cool.
so
we
yeah,
have
this is going to be
such
fun.
a great group of souls. Absolutely.
Yes.
So
Hi, Yana. Good to see you.
We have 8 people on with us so far.
Yeah, yay. She's sending us
Yay,
lots
welcome.
of love, Yana is. Mary Lynn says,
Welcome,
yay,
everybody.
Raphael. So cool. Okay.
Yeah, so today you're going to be, well, I'll let you go ahead, and because what we have to do with these three-way lives is, unfortunately, with the 3 of us can't be on the call at the same time. So Nancy is going to work with Eric. I'm going to be behind the scenes and commenting like everybody else. And then I'm going to come on at the end, and then Friday and Wednesday I'll be taking care of Frank. So you're the official interviewer today.
Yeah, you'll be taking care of Frank and getting all those giggles. He's getting all giggly. It's going to be fun to watch. That's the giggle.
I don't know. He might have the orange glasses and the Boston
Maybe have
hat,
a Tina
and he might be in his car.
With a Tina t-shirt. Why not?
If he's smart, he'll do Tina and Nancy.
That's great.
So I think that's it. And we're going to talk, you're going to be talking to Eric about processing breakups, right?
Yes, about what we talked about last week. And yeah, processing a breakup, healing from a breakup from a man's perspective. So he willingly agreed to come on with us, like on short notice. So we really appreciate that. And we'll see how this goes. So I'm really interested to hear from man's point of view. Especially an evolved man, conscious man, that's ready.
He's really great.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to bow out to allow you to invite Eric in.
Please let this work. Okay, stand by.
Okay, I'll see you in the comments.
I'll see you in the flip. Okay.
Bye. Have fun. Bye.
Okay. How do I? Okay. Eric wants to add. Okay, so I just added him on camera. I think this is going to work.
Yes, we pulled it off. As you're sitting there going, I hope this works. Here I am doing my first paired live, and you're like, yeah, we're just going to drop on, drop off. We're going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm like, oh, sweet. Way to just learn on the fly.
Yes, this is his first dual Facebook Live. So my hat's off to you for agreeing to do this with us. So, but you're coming from Vegas, right? And it's like 112, you said?
Yeah, it's nice and chilly out here.
Nice and chilly. And he's seen me frolicking around the forest. He's like, it looks so nice and green there. I'm like, I would combust. over by you.
Yes, yes. I miss the green, so I get to watch those videos. You sharing your love, and I
Yes.
wish I was in the mountains. So yes, but
Spreading the
thank you so
love.
much for having me on here. I'm
Yes,
looking
thank you for
forward to
coming.
it. Watching you and Tina chat, and
Thank you.
yes, when I can get on there, you are two of the ones that I'm always checking out.
Oh, thank you. Really appreciate that. We're having so much fun with it. And Tina and I just, we have the same vision and we love sharing and, we love serving and helping everybody out. It's, our calling and it's our passion. And we're so excited about this and so excited to have you on. You're our first.
Yes, with a star-studded cast to follow me. I'm like, oh, great. Here
Yeah.
we go.
Well, you're setting up for greatness, right? You're setting the bar.
There
So,
we go. We'll try
yeah.
and set it high and share the
Oh,
love with everyone.
okay, I'm sure we will. Okay, so we had talked about, you had caught some of our talk last week about breakup, because that's actually ground zero. That's where we start. Because how we break up and how we learn from it is how we set ourselves up for the next relationship. It's how we set ourselves up for ourselves. Because we can grow and evolve with it and become a better person through it. So, what is your take as far as, getting through a breakup or, the signs of recognizing a breakup and getting through it?
Yes, and thanks for having me. Let's just dive in. I
Okay.
think, in my opinion, and I love having this group because they're a little bit more of a conscious-minded individuals. They're not the ones that feel the need to just splurge back in there because a lot of men, and I feel bad for the ladies out there, that sometimes they're receiving
Froze.
the rebound or the breakup from the previous relationship when they're not ready to move on. I have a feeling a lot of us go into that position where you're in a you feeling lonely, and sometimes we get back into the scene quicker than we need to. Sometimes we just need to like sit back, reflect on the good, reflect on the bad. How did it make you better as a person? And you're really only able to find that self-love by spending some time alone and seeing what values did that person bring out of the table? Like, was it certainty? Were you confident about having one person? Or was it a significance? Was there somebody special that made you feel more significant because this person was of prestige? Or was it uncertainty? Was there variety in the relationship? And to look back on that relationship and see what did it for you? What was your draw to it? Because then you can now know moving forward, what are you looking for? What sparks your interest? And grow from there. You're only going to grow if you actually take the time to reflect. Being an ex-athlete that I am, is always game film. You just go back and you study, because if you don't take the time to rethink, replay, and figure out what went wrong, sometimes it's just not the right fit. It's just not the chemistry. It's not what you anticipated. But I have a hard time anybody wants to blame the other person, because it's two to party, it's two to tango, and you are in that relationship. And sometimes you just need to take fault. You need to take responsibility for whatever it is that happened, the good, bad, the indifferent. I also think that helps you move on from the breakup. Taking responsibility for whatever it was that the good moments. I will always tell you, do your trophy effect with any of it, especially a breakup. What were the moments in there that were good? I can remember one, for example, where it was my first one from Date with Destiny. And I remember the relationship day at Date with Destiny. And I was like, holy shit, I could tell you all the reasons why my ex-wife and I broke up, because I wasn't consciously aware of the feminine energy versus the masculine energy, and how sometimes ladies just want to vent, and guys, we want to fix shit. It's what we do. So when our woman's venting towards us and we're like, no, this is what you need to do, XYZ, you fix this shit just like this. And you get done learning and they're like, oh shit, they don't want it fixed, they just want to vent. And you have to be consciously aware of that. So when I got into my next relationship, I was bringing some of my Jack Canfield to the table, where it was, hey, so how was the relationship this week? What could we do to make it better? So if you're going to have a successful relationship, you've got to have that communication. Where in your last relationship out of that breakup did you have good communication? And where did you not have good communication? And how can you improve that moving forward in the next relationship? Because if you don't make any improvements to yourself, don't expect a whole lot to change in the long term. It's just going to be a repeat, recycle over and over again if you don't take the time to grow.
Oh, wow. I absolutely love that. So you do everything. You reflect, you take ownership, you learn from it, and you bring that into your next relationship. There's not the victim mindset. It's like, how did I show up in this? How can I be better? Because it is two to tango, right? So it's not always the other person's fault. And sometimes, the relationship just isn't in alignment. Maybe it is in the very beginning. Like maybe there's something that brought you together, but you evolved past that. And I just love that. I love everything that you said. It's so great hearing that from a man. It's exactly what Tina and I are talking about. And it's so wonderful to hear it from a conscious of all men. See, ladies, men like this out here. Yeah. So what do you think one of your greatest lessons that you get from a relationship, after a relationship? What's your biggest takeaway?
Biggest takeaway. How did I become better? How did I become better as a man? Learning from a marriage where I can take responsibility for a lot of failures in there. Now I look back, I'm like, all right, if I do a better job of this, communicating with my ex-wife, we didn't do a good job of communicating. So I learned in the next relationship to do a better job of communicating. And then where does she feel loved? Everyone's got a love language. It's so deep in our subconscious. Good luck telling anybody you don't have one or you got multiple ones. There's always a pecking order. One means more than the other. If it's quality time, acts of service, whatever it is for your lady and the man, realize that. Think about that. And if that's in alignment with you, if quality time's important and she wants a lot of quality time, but you work a traveling job, it's going to strain on a relationship. But if you don't find out what it is that makes her feel special and loved, you can keep trying and practicing. So when you look back on that relationship, what did you do good and what can you improve upon for the next one?
Yeah, and what you're talking about is the 7 love languages. Isn't that what it's called?
5. If you found an extra 2, let me know.
The 5 love languages, that's right. And it's really great. So when you begin a relationship, it's really great it's a fun little test that you can take and you can really understand, because how you think you're serving your partner is not exactly how they need to feel loved. So some people need the personal touch, or, words of affirmation are really important to them. So it's really important to discover that in the beginning. So I think that's great. And do you have anything to add to that? I love
to add to that,
yes.
if I were to add to that,
What's
this
your
would
love
not
language?
oh man, I have not been I spent last year and plus, over almost going on 2 years now, where I've spent my time focusing on me.
Isn't it great? Yeah.
And I've learned, because I always was one of the ones I just wanted to be in that relationship, because being alone sucked. But when you can learn to love yourself when you are alone, then you don't need somebody to complete you. That someone is complimenting you.
Yes.
And yeah, I went from the one relationship to the next real quickly because I just wanted to have somebody there. So for anybody, take the time. Take that self-love. Everybody wants to hashtag it. Everybody wants to talk how great it is. But if you don't actually take the time to love yourself when you're alone, date yourself.
Yeah.
Do it. Like, go to the movies by yourself. Go to dinner by yourself. Like, shit. Everybody wants to say it's weird. I'm like, I've done it enough times now. Like, I don't need somebody there. If I have somebody there, that's amazing.
Yes.
I will cherish on it, but I don't need it.
Right. The right somebody. You don't need. You're already whole. It's a desire for joining of 2 wholes, but you don't need. It's not coming from need. It's coming from a pure desire. And if that's not here, then go and, like you said, date yourself. Go to a wedding alone. I hear people like, oh, I need a +1 for a wedding. I'm like, no, you don't. Why do you need someone to go with? Go have fun, go hang out with your friends. Maybe the groomsman, maybe he's single, just go by yourself. I do everything by myself. I love it. And like you, I had a time in the past where I felt really bad about being alone. I had a lot of alone time always in between relationships. And I always felt that it was like kind of a validation, like, oh gosh, I want that next relationship. Now I just want more life. I want more living. And it's just such a lovely thing to be able to love yourself. I used to hear self-love. I'm like, what is that? What does that even mean? And I'm sure, Eric, you now live it. It's a part of your truth. And, just hearing you speak, I can feel it and see it. It's so, so lovely. It's beautiful. I'm going to address some of these people that are commenting, and then I'm going to bring Tina back on because we have a class. Okay, so Yana, does anyone want to ask Eric anything before I go off? Steven's here. Todd says this is awesome. Anything for the man? Any woman want to ask anything for the man? I'll wait for a second while somebody asks something. And
one thing I would like to add,
Uh-huh.
and this is for both the genders, is as you leave a relationship, you need to find a way to let it go. Whatever animosity or resentment you have, there's responsibility for you being stuck in, like you might say you're stuck, or this person was evil because of this, or they played me that way. There's often signs that you should have acknowledged that we ignore, but then we'll hang on to the resentment for months and years at times, years. And you're looking back at it and you're like, wait a second, you're getting mad at somebody. You're holding that hot coal in your hand because one day you're just going to throw it back at them. No, let it go.
No. Yeah.
Now, it might be there might be a trigger, but you don't have to let it anger you. You can acknowledge it, and then just like a cloud, let it pass until it no longer affects you.
Because the only person you're hurting is yourself. When you don't forgive and let it go, you're only hurting yourself. There's a saying that goes behind it. I can't think of it right now, but you're really, doing yourself a disservice, and that person's, you're only hurting yourself. So let it go, forgive, and move on. There's process it and move on. So I think that's so important. I like that.
So that saying you're thinking about might be it's you drinking the poison expecting somebody else to get sick.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. I'd have to be like,
teamwork
makes the dream work. All right.
Yes.
Well, Eric, I thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to bring Tina on. We have to keep this pretty quick because we have class in like 10 minutes. But thank you so much for coming on. I love talking with you. And look at this big smile on my face. I love hearing this from the man's perspective. I'm sure we'll have you on again. So thank you for being game.
Thank you.
And thanks for contributing. And have a wonderful day. Get into the air condition. And we'll see you soon.
You have fun. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye. Kisses. Bye.